Something messed up. Technology. Can't live with it. Can't live without it.
You've worked hard, you've played hard. I'm so very proud of you. I want you to take a few minutes and sit back and relax. Celebrate your accomplishments and enjoy your time to dream.
The night air is falling, the noises all fade. It's time now to close your eyes, let your thoughts drift away to a land of majestic castles on hills covered green, a world of enchantment. Close your eyes, it's time to dream. Ooh, it's a land of adventure where good always wins, and children's gentle laughter carries over the wind, and nobody's alone, and nobody's afraid. The rivers run pure and clean, and the clouds softly float away. Child, when you awake, the world may not seem exactly the way that you saw in your dream. But if dreams can come true, like I know that they do, this world can be real, child. It's all up to you. So gently now close your eyes and silently breathe, and enter your magical world where there's always time to dream.
Y'all should see my setup. I have my iPad right here and my phone right there. I cleaned off my desk. Everything looks beautiful. I have my magic wand. And we're good to go. I'm telling you. Except it's blackberry winter out there and I can't go outside and sit in a sunbeam because it's cold. I don't have any fur. So the dog likes to sit in a sunbeam, but I don't like to sit in a sunbeam when it's cold. I really don't like that. So I'm having my tea time in my studio with my me time mug. I have 2 more cups in here. Oh my. It is just lovely. And you know, one thing, I'm real picky. I let my perfectionism go nuts when it comes to mugs. I want to be able to hug a mug. Do y'all have that problem too? My fingers have to lace through here, and I have to have room on either side for 2 of my fingers, or all 3 fingers can go in there. See how wonderful that is? I gotta be able to hug a mug. And then when you have a cup of our wise women's tea, it hugs you back. That is just so pleasant. I'm telling you, I look forward to tea time. Not only because I get to have something warm and wonderful go down my esophagus and just bless me and warm me up when it's cold out. But I get to spend it with you, and I get to say what's on my heart. And, you know, Time to Dream, that song was an old Irish melody, a folk song that Amy turned in to a beautiful lullaby for my fly babies. So, and you know, I had always dreamed of music for my fly babies, and she came across with the first CD, and a year later she came up with this Up Kind of Days CD that was for children, but it's really more for all of us. It's every single person who hears it loves it, absolutely loves it. So I'm going to reach into my little basket that my sister-in-law made me, and I'm going to pull out a topic, and I have one right here. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to open it up, and we'll see what we have to say about this. Parroting the voices in your head. That's what today's topic is. That's what the body clutter book right back there is. It's behind my rose that Justin gave me for Mother's Day. He gave me 24 of them, but only one of them would fit in my little bud vase. But the body clutter book, we talk about eliminating the clutter that's in our heads. And that clutter is those voices that you've heard your whole life. And I don't even want to reinforce some of the things they have said, but they're just hateful words. Putting you down, saying ugly things to you, treating you like a second-class citizen, and we're not. We learn a little differently. It takes new ways of getting us excited about something. Our perfectionism is what has stopped us most of our life. And when we recognize where those negative voices came from, when we see that, we can start to eliminate them. Now, how do you do that? People have said, how in the world do you do that? Well, first you have to recognize. So when you hear, you put yourself down in some form or fashion, whatever it is, you know those words. I'm not going to reinforce them here. I'm not going to say them out loud because that gives them credit. And I'm here to discredit them. When we hear those negative things being said to us, whether they're in our own voice or whether they're in the voice of a parent, a spouse, an ex-spouse, a father, a grandparent, you know, when you hear those voices and they've said something ugly to you, I want you to stop right there and ask yourself this question. Who said that to me? Who said that to me? Where have I heard that before? Because the voices we heard as children, and I'll never forget seeing this picture on Facebook. I mean, it was picture's worth 1,000 words. But it was two hands around a little boy's neck, strangling this little fella. And the arms and the hands were made up of those awful words we've heard. And we have to eliminate those. Now, number one is recognizing them. And number two is, how do you eliminate them? That's not easy to do, Fly Lady. I know it's not easy to do. But I had to do it. I had to do it. And here's how I did it. When I recognized those ugly words, I gave them a voice. I gave them a voice that who it really belonged to. Whether it was my mother's or it was somebody else in the family, you know the voice. It's mainly my mother's. And when you recognize where that voice came from, that's when you can start to divorce yourself of that voice. Yeah, you can. We were all loving our mothers yesterday and being thankful for our mothers, but sometimes our mothers left us a legacy that is hard to overcome. And it was critical. Even my grandmother was critical because poor Granny was a perfectionist. She was a perfectionist, but she learned how to deal with it. She did. But we didn't always clean like she wanted us to. And that's okay. We clean a different way. We do different things. Granny came to my house once upon a time, and it was her last time to see Mother. Mother was in a nursing home up here. And Granny, we went and got Granny and brought her here. And it was, we were in the midst of a remodel, and it just about drove her crazy. I didn't have kitchen counters. I had plywood for counters because the Granny hadn't come in yet. And she says, how do you live like this? And I said, well, it's camping out right now. We're doing the best we can. We had been in construction for almost, it started in July, and this was October when she came. And it was tough. Would we ever do that again? No, but we learned. But I was terrified. I was going to find out. I was going to lose my routines. I was going to lose the habits I had established the whole year before. And that I was not going to do it. And then I get to hear my grandmother, my loving grandmother, who just didn't really realize. I'll tell you one of the things she used to say to me. When I would call her on the phone, she'd say, honey, are you still fat? Just as big as Pete. And she didn't mean anything by it. And I know that. She loved me. She really loved me. And she loved all my sisters. She took real good care of us. But hearing those negative voices and us parroting them in our head. Somebody this morning said they had a cockatiel who loved our music. Well, we have to put good music in our heads. We have to put good voices in our heads. When we hear ourselves say a negative thing, that's when we can turn it around and to something positive. So you hear somebody say something negative, then turn it around and say, I am strong. I am loyal. I am courageous. I'm a survivor. All of these I ams. Yeah, I have my little AirPods right here. They do a good job. Yes, parrots do love our music. So let go of this negativity that you have ping-ponging in your head. And that's what I did in 1999 when I sat down I really didn't sit down, I stood up with my Pam and Peggy card file system, and I started sorting the cards on New Year's Day. That's when I heard myself say, well, you can't do this. And I'm thinking, wow, where did that come from? I'm a can-do kind of girl. And I heard myself say I couldn't do it. And I thought, I can do this. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to set up a system that's going to work for me. And what I realized that day was with the ugly words that I said to myself, I needed 2 New Year's resolutions. One was to get organized, and the other one was to be kind to me. So we say words to ourselves that we would never even think about saying to our child. And if you have said these things to your child, then you need to apologize and stop it and nip it in the bud. Yep, Granny used to say, can't, never could do anything. But I am a can-do kind of girl. And so I have my tea. I have eliminated some of the hatefulness that has been said to me over the years. And I thought that was one of my sisters saying that. My granny said, "Can't never could do anything." That was one of her favorite sayings, and pretty is as pretty does. That was her other one. So we get to eliminate the negative things in our lives. We can do this. And we can do it with strength and determination and love for ourselves. And, a lot of people say, loving yourself, that's not biblical. Yeah, it is. When you look at the golden rule to love your neighbor as yourself, you can't love your neighbor until you love yourself. Because then you become this martyr who is only doing it to look good. But when you truly love yourself, you only do things you really want to do. So on that New Year's Day, when I made up those resolutions to be kind to me and to get organized through the process, I had to be kind to me. Those two things stuck. And they stuck in such a way that I was able to take what I was learning through eliminating this negativity and teach you how to do this, how to do the same thing. And what I realized that New Year's Day with my huge card file system was that I had never established a habit. So I set out to practice one habit. Now, psychologists tell us that it takes 21 days to develop a new habit. They are so wrong. Oh boy, are they wrong. When you're a perfectionist like we are, it takes much more than 21 days. It takes every single day of the month to practice that habit. So we give ourselves a grace period. There's Annette. She's a friend of mine. We give ourselves a grace period, and that grace period gives us the ability to, if we miss a day, we just act like it didn't happen and jump back in right where we are instead of beating ourselves up because we missed a day. Well, let's go do it. Whatever you've missed, just jump back in where we are and act as if you haven't missed a day. So that's what flying's all about, being kind to yourself, finally loving yourself. We can do this, and we can do it in a fashion that is going to lift everybody up around you. Now, we're seeing all these reports of stuffed planes with lots of people on them. But they still stand up in front of everybody, and they do. If your oxygen mask drops down, here's what you're supposed to do. Put your oxygen mask on first. Yep. You've got to take care of you. If you don't take care of you, who will? So let's drink up. Wow, it's just right too. Remember Cinderella? No, it was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Porridge was too hot, or it was too cold, and then it was just right. Well, this tea is just right. So our perfectionism holds us back. Our perfectionism, and we've had a ton of new members in the last 3 days. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're coming. And I got so many messages last night complaining about too many emails. Well, let me let you in for a secret. Digital clutter is not clutter, because all you got to do is hit select all, Control A, delete, and it's gone. You can't do that with clutter in your house. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. But with digital clutter, you can select all and delete, and it's gone. So what we're trying to do, and this is what this, getting rid of those parroting voices in your heads, this is, we're trying to fill your head with good stuff to get rid of those negative voices. And if we can build you up with positive things, like having tea time with me, this is a positive thing. Having tea, enjoying other people's company, reading our emails, reading our books. Excuse me, we have some great books. Body Clutter, Sync Reflections, The Chaos, let me get it. This is our 31 Baby Step book. My newest book is The Chaos Cure. It's on Amazon. And it's written for you to just pick up and open it and read it somewhere. Like we do our Bibles, we just pick up and open someplace. And we have fun with it. We don't have to get all hung up on, I can't read all those. I don't expect you to read all the emails. I expect you to let the Holy Spirit guide you and open one up and read it. Takes 2-3 minutes, tops. And if you get them on your phone, coming to your phone, you'll take more time to do that. Yeah, it really happened for you. Well, folks, it's been a lovely tea time. Continue to, if you've got sunbeam in your neck of the woods, go sit out in it, because I can't right now. It is too cold. It's blackberry winter here. I hope we don't lose too many blackberries, folks, because blackberry winter is, it messes up blackberry season. It gets rid of the blackberry blooms. And we've had frost for 2 days in a row. Thank you all for your special little stars, because you're all shining stars in my book. I don't really know what it is yet. I haven't had a chance to look it up, but I think it has to do with points. And I like getting points. Time for a brisk walk, Beverly says. Well, y'all have a good rest of the day. And I'll be back on here tomorrow at 11 o'clock for our morning. Let's get going, because tomorrow is plan and play day. So I want you to do something fun. But we got to get a little planning in right now. And just, we got to get a little planning in so we can de-stress our lives. Because what little bit of planning you do, it becomes exponential in peace because you've done it. So I don't know what the stars are, but people are giving me stars. They're really giving me stars, so that's sweet. So it's points. I don't know what I can redeem them for, but I look at them as love. And all the huggy hearts you're going to give me, I love those too. Well, y'all enjoy your tea. And if you haven't tried our tea yet, it's wonderful. Yeah, we saw a black bear the other day coming from Leanne's house. And I was watching TV last night, and I've got friends in Gatlinburg, real close to Ben. And I was watching TV, and a bear got in their house and shut the door behind it. And it took all the M&Ms and Reese's Pieces and Sour Patch Kids and all kinds of stuff. It got in the house, and they had to call animal control to come and get the bear out of the house because there were 3 other bears outside. I just can't imagine. Now, we've had a bear in a tree off our back deck a couple of years ago, but I just can't imagine a bear. Big bear. Yeah, so you got to lock yourself in the bathroom at that point. And that's what room we're in this week. We're in our main bathroom, and you get to pick another room to work on. So I've been working on this room, and I've been working on my hotspot in my living room, and I've got it looking pretty good. I've been proud of myself. I really have. Yeah, bears smell rough. My dog's been rolling. Oh, I got a new use for the purple rag, y'all. I got it hot and soapy the other night. Tulip went out into the woods and came in smelling like something dead. I mean, she smelled like she had rolled in something, and sure enough, there was gooey stuff on her back. So I got my purple rag hot and soapy, and I wiped her down, and then wiped her backwards on her fur, and then I rinsed it out, and I did it again. And you know, it cleared up the stinkiness. It did clear up the stinkiness. So right now, when you know, people on Amazon are price gouging, you know, charging enormous amounts for hand sanitizer and toilet paper and paper towels and all this stuff. We've put everything on sale. 25% off if it isn't already discounted deeply. And our purple rags are on a BOGO. Buy one set, we'll put another set in it, and we'll send you a second set. So you just put one in your cart and we'll send you another set. You don't have to put two in your cart. If you do, you're going to get 4. So, and silver rags are on a BOGO, and our pink rags that we make our little mask out of, they are half price. So you can get 12 for $10. Yep, and we're working on our new calendar. We're getting it ready to be proofed, and it's soon. It should be out soon. Starts in August. We're already booking things in the next year because of this pandemic. Our spring vacations have been postponed for a year. Everything's crazy like that. So y'all, things are opening up, and I'm happy. I'm really happy. I saw some people at lunch today on TV that were in Indiana, and they were going to lunch in a restaurant. I'm looking forward to that. I used to take it for granted. I'm never going to take going into a restaurant for granted anymore. Last night we went to our favorite Mexican restaurant. Well, we have 2, and we love them both. And they are just precious. And Lupe, who's been there a long, long time, and he's prayed for Ben, and I prayed for his family, and we talk about different things. And he said, Robert went in and ordered our dinner because we went straight from looking at a house with Leanne and Mark to pick up dinner. And he said, tell Miss Marla I said Happy Mother's Day. And he brought the food out, and I said, tell your wife I said Happy Mother's Day. So, you know, it's just, gotta love people. You just have to love people. And we want to keep them open because we really love what they do. Peggy said she got her tea and her supplements. Yeah, we got some great supplements. We've got vitamin D, CoQ10, CalMag, and B complex. These are some great supplements that go with our body clutter tea. Well, I love you all, and I'll see you in the morning because we're going to do a little planning. We may do some menu planning together. Won't that be fun? Starting to think about what we're going to cook when we can't find any meat in the grocery stores. Yep. And that's mainly what I'm eating is chicken and beef and staying low carb as much as possible. I love you all, and I will see you later. And you know when that's going to be. At 11 o'clock tomorrow. Y'all are sending me, I don't even want to leave. Y'all are sending me so hard. So many big stars. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate you. See you later.